Hi, it's Rebecca, Empathic Crow. I am already in my pajamas because I wasn't sure if I was going to record today, but it feels important. Today is my fourth wedding anniversary. I met my husband at a time where I did not want anything, nothing. I was done. I was not going to have a relationship. I just didn't think it was possible. And despite ways that my life has not always been the most comfortable or easiest experience, and I know we all have difficulties and struggles and things like that. I just never thought that I would meet someone who truly does love me unconditionally and who is an amazing person. And we both have our faults, don't get me wrong, but we lived through COVID in a 1-bedroom apartment. We are in our house and we have 100% made it a home. We've lived through issues with trying to conceive and loss of a conception. We've lived through so many things and came out stronger through it. We've lived through my burnout. We've lived through a major surgery for him, like all these things. And it's not always been easy because we both are people who have spent our lives trying to not hurt other people, but being hurt ourselves. And through that, we've healed and grown so much and have learned to set boundaries and to be supportive, but also communicate in a healthy way where neither one of us has to feel like we have to always be the one giving something up, and not that we feel like we're giving something up. We have healthy communication discussions and we know we can disagree and it's still okay and we can talk about it. And I wish that for everyone, because it is amazing when you find someone who it is safe to be yourself around, who it is safe to have discussions and not worry that everything could fall apart. Because if everything can fall apart, what I've learned is that means that the relationship wasn't healthy. It wasn't stable to begin with. So having said that, I just hope that that's some hope and light in this time where things are very uncertain and weird and strange. And I know a lot of my readings here recently have been focusing on moving through the discomfort and focusing on self-care, focusing on communication, focusing on being able to be kind, compassionate, building community. And I feel like those are very important messages, especially right now. And to know that this is, I remember one of the readings, it talked about this as a moment in time. And we've had the Wheel of Fortune and the World card come out quite a bit, being very focused on the fact that things, they don't last forever. And there's a lot going on right now, and it's not going to last forever. And we know that in most stories, true and made up, the people who are the helpers usually are going to pull through. And the people who are the takers, the people who put other people down, the bullies, they don't win. They may feel like or be on top for a while. They get their power by trying to take power away from others. But when you do that, there's only so far you can go. When you get your power by being empathetic, by being compassionate, by building community and supports, that's a much stronger thing than trying to be on top. You've heard the phrase, it's lonely on top. So don't strive to be on top. Don't see allowing yourself to show your emotions, not just anger, not just fear, but a full range of emotions is not weak. Anger is a secondary emotion. Anger hides and masks guilt, disappointment, embarrassment, insecurity. Look up the anger iceberg if you need to. It'll show you a whole range of things, and that's not even all of them. But it's just a mask. And unfortunately, many of us have been taught to mask our emotions. Don't cry. Crying is weak. Don't show your fear. Don't do this. Don't do that. So many rules. But what I'm telling you is it's okay to show your emotions. And being able to show your vulnerability, being able to move forward despite your fears, despite your insecurity, without having to use other people, that's a huge strength. But I'm going to get off my soapbox. I'm going to stop feeling like I'm lecturing. Hopefully it's more that you're feeling empowered, or that you feel like, yeah, that's true. I'm not trying to convince or convert you. There is nothing to convert you to. I don't have I don't even know. I don't have a regime or religion or any of that I'm trying to sell you. I'm just trying to give some advice on how to build up your strength. It's like when I talk to my clients, especially my young people, about bullies, and we talk about that sometimes they've had things happen to them that haven't been the greatest. And it's not an excuse for the way that they act. Not at all. Because many of us have trauma and difficult times, and we don't take it out on other people or put other people down to make ourselves feel better. But there are people who they do. Because of their insecurity, maybe they're trying to get the attention off of themselves and onto others. Maybe they're trying to build themselves up, whatever it is. They feel like they have to put other people down. And that's not the truth. We have Moonset from the Moonology deck. That is by Yasmin Boland. So we have Moonset and release. We have a full moon coming up soon and an eclipse this week, I believe. Yes. Is it Friday? One of those days. But either way, we have a full moon coming up. And the full moon is a great time to release the things that are not serving you. So release those fears. Release that anger. Release that feeling that you cannot forgive others. Because forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. It's so that it's not stuck inside of you. A constant reminder of dark moon, the past. A constant reminder of the past, of snakes are not necessarily a bad thing, but the things that scare you. It may even be, people that have taken advantage of you. You don't have to hold on to those things. And the dark is not always a bad thing. Sometimes we need the dark to appreciate the light. Sometimes the dark helps us to see things better. We have moon madness. Avoid the drama. You don't have to step into the drama. You don't have to be a part of it. You don't have to be this person who follows along with others. Part of what we talked about is being able to be with people that you feel are a supportive community, a place that feels safe. So even when we look at this and the imagery in these cards, you can step out of this shadow. You don't have to go through the doorway into the dark night of the soul. We have to go through our shadow work, that trauma healing. That's where we release. You don't stay in the dark. You find the light, because the light is always there. It's always there. Right now, moonrise, this is a cleansing. And I don't mean that in the way that you're necessarily even having to take a shower, like cleaning. I mean, it can be. Showers can be very cleansing. And with this rainbow light, it reminds me of one of my favorite things to do to release some of that anxiety when you're in the shower, to imagine the water as if it's either a bright white or golden light, or as if it's a rainbow, like all the colors of the chakra coming down over your head and washing down your body. And it takes away all those anxieties, all those fears, and washes it down the drain, because the anxieties, you can prepare for some things. But if you focus on them too much, and if you focus on all of the things that you feel are potential possibilities, it takes up so much time, and they may never happen. So look at that halo around the moon, the light that's coming out. It balances perfectly the first card that we got. Look at the similarities between those two cards. The moon set, actually, these are two opposite cards that came out. We have moon set, releasing, and then we've got moonrise, cleansing. And those are two very important things to do. And both of them have the full moon on it. So use this time to release the things that are not helping you, whether that's people, objects, thoughts, emotions, ideas, whatever it is. Release them and cleanse yourself of all of the past, all of the drama that you feel like has been around you, or that has been something that you have been a part of. And know that no matter what choices you have made in the past, that you can release the past. You can let it go. I'm seeing the purple in here and the angel wings on this figure, and so I'm reminded to say, whatever, again, your divine connection is, whether it's spirit guides, ancestors, angels, God, another deity, anything, your higher self, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, focus on being able to make those connections. And as I said that, my eyes went to this journal that I bought recently, the Gratitude Explorer. The Gratitude Explorer Workbook. Guided practices, meditations, and reflections for cultivating gratefulness in daily life. This is by Christy Nelson. And so we definitely have to focus on that gratitude. Let's see. Seek perspective. So this is the page that I've come up to. Perspective expands your experience of life, allowing for greater appreciation of the opportunities available to you and open to you to possibility. So if you're holding on to this past and you're getting involved in that drama, you're not releasing those negative emotions, you're not releasing those things that you hold on to because you fear that letting it go means that you give the person a pass, or that it never happened, and that's not true. And you don't focus on the gratitude and the positive things around you, you will not move forward, and you will be stuck in that dark place. When you see the ordinary as extraordinary and take nothing for granted, you can turn your life into a wellspring of abundance. If you look at everything with appreciative eyes, you will likely be overwhelmed by the amazing gifts at your fingertips. The abundance of how much is the service to your life. Awakening to the great good for fortune that is yours can stop the feeling of needing more. So understanding that it's not about acquiring all the wealth or everything that you want or everything that you see. Sometimes we have to be grateful for the things that we have. And sometimes we have to look at ways that we can create the things that we want. You don't have to have all the money. You don't even have to be rich. And you can still have a very joyful and wonderful life. The practice of fully appreciating what is already in front of you can be a joyful long-term engagement. You might find that you already have all the abundance that you've envied, craved, or thought you needed. So the activity that's encouraged is to shift from obligation to opportunity. Throughout your day, catch yourself whenever you think, I have to, and try to substitute it with, I get to. Notice how different it feels to think that you get to do something. How does this shift the energy you bring to each task? You also can try adding, because I can, to the end of your get to statements. This can help you to see your task as privileges that you may not have always had and may not always have in the future, and that many people do not have at all. Begin to notice how much other people use obligated language in day-to-day conversations. Experiment with seeing and claiming your responsibilities and obligations as privileges and opportunities. So this is a way for us to reframe and shift our perspectives. Because if we're always in this perspective that's very negative, where we're like, I can't do this, I have to do this, I should do this, I'm not good at this, and we're saying all these things, or this person is better than me. Your brain is picking up on that, and that's what you'll always believe, and that is what you will always notice. And that is an absolute. But when you start to reframe it, and you start to turn it around, and you start to focus on the things that you do have, or the things that you can do, I can't do this, but I can do this, then you start to realize that there's way more opportunity for you to have some moments of gratitude or peace, or feel abundant, feel like there are things that you've been able to create or do or say, or people that you want to be with. And if you focus on those things, that even though they don't seem like big things, have been a positive change, or are things that you have accomplished, or things that you do get to do and you want to do, the more things that you'll notice that you enjoy, or that you feel are good things. So focus on the negative things, focus on the bad things, and you can have a day where 2 or 3 things go really well, but one thing doesn't go your way, or you feel like one thing goes bad, and you're going to be saying, that was a bad day. You totally disqualify the positive. You completely just eliminate that fact that actually good things did happen, because it just wasn't enough. If it's not enough, even when it's a small thing, it's probably not going to be enough even when it's a big thing. It's not. And so then you're going to be chasing all these things that you think you want or need. Power, control, money, objects, whatever it is. But it's never enough. And you'll feel like somebody always has something better. So from our Urban Crow Oracle deck by MJ Cullinane, we have number 46, Soar. Notice the light that's coming out from behind the cloud in this card, if I can get it to show. There we go. This bird is soaring above the clouds, and there are these beautiful little blossoms underneath, and the sun is coming through. You may not feel like you're where you want to be right now, but if you're just focused on these clouds, you're missing the sun, you're missing the blossoms, you're missing the opportunities. The opportunities may not look like what you feel they should look like, but they're there. And then we got this message recently, 36, it was a different card, but play. Allow yourself to not be caught up in, this is part of the releasing, avoiding drama too, but definitely the very first card that we got, this releasing. Allowing yourself to play, getting back into that childlike mode. How many times have we said, even when people have had childhoods that weren't that great, they may say, oh, I wish I was still a kid because I didn't have all these responsibilities. Well, you may have all these responsibilities, but allow yourself time to play. If that's creating something, if that's literally playing a game, or it could be a board game, it could be a Nintendo game. Showing my age here. I think Nintendo's Have they put anything out recently? Probably not. Anyway, it can be creating stickers. It can be whatever you want it to be. You can put in your earbuds and dance around. You can put on the music and dance around your room. You can do whatever you want to do. But it's very important that we step into this playfulness. And notice that these birds, they're playing in the rain. So even though it may feel like it's raining, there's still light. You can still be playful because that playfulness brings this joy to us. And not stifling yourself and being like, oh, I should act like an adult. Allow yourself to play. Allow yourself to feel that pure joy of just existing, just being. I feel like those are the big messages right now. We'll shuffle one more time through the crow deck to see if anything else comes out. But how beautiful is that? To release, to cleanse. We have 2 cards that are the same, like opposites of each other, like same coin, opposite sides. And knowing that you can soar even when it looks like there aren't opportunities, there are. Even when the world looks dim. You got to get out of this routine. 42. With the play card, look at the imagery with this. So with these birds up here, they're not in this mundane, do the same thing every day routine where you feel like you've got to get up, do this, do that. They're allowing themselves time in nature, time to enjoy the things that are going on here. It's not like this fast-paced, I must do this. That was part of the gratitude thing. Getting out of that, I should do this, I have to do this, or whatever. You can do the things. You can even maybe set something up where you say, I can do this for X amount of time, and then I'm going to do something that makes me happy, something that brings me joy. I'm going to play. I'm going to get out of that routine and allow myself to do something that I love. And that's so important. I keep hearing, there's a Pink song that she sings with her daughter Willow, Cover Me in Sunshine. And I keep hearing parts of that song in my head. I am not a singer. I don't claim to be a singer, but let me listen for a second. Okay. From a distance, all these mountains are just some tiny hills. Wild flowers, they keep living while they're just standing still. So I don't remember the next words right now. I may even have sung those wrong, but we're going to go to the chorus because I just looked at this card and the sun in the background. So keep that in mind as we're singing this. Cover me in sunshine, shower me with good times. Tell me that the world's been spinning since the beginning and everything will be alright. So just remember that you need to take time to play. You need to take time to do things that even if other people think you're silly or you think it might not be something you're good at, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Or you feel like, oh, that's a trivial thing to think about right now. Don't hold it back. Just play. Enjoy yourself. It doesn't have to be all this drama, all this heaviness from the past. It's time to let those things go. Let it go. Where's that release? I might have dropped it, or I've laid cards on top of it. I've laid cards on top of it. Release. Cleanse the energy of the past. Let it go. Look for that sunshine. Recognize that all the mountains that you see when you're looking at them from a distance. So it may be years from now, or it may be just you pull yourself back and you have a really good look at the things that are around you and take inventory of the things you have to be grateful for, that you recognize these things, it's small compared to the things that you have, the things that you've built, the person that you are. That doesn't change. You at your core are yourself. And if there are things that you don't like about yourself, cleanse yourself of that energy and do something different. I think those are the messages. Take care.